There will always be haters. The more you grow, the more they hate. And the more they hate, the more you grow. Gaveliers, Toastmasters and guests, a very good afternoon. Wherever you are in life, you will always have that one person who is always behind you, trying to disagree with every move you make. Haters. Haters will see you walk on water and say, that's because you can't swim. Haters will see you succeed and say, that's because you have way too many opportunities. And haters will finally see you make progress and say, that's because of pure luck. And then when you finally fail, haters will come up to you and tell, that's because you were never good enough. You should not be led astray by those haters who are way too lazy to work for their dreams and thus trying to put you down. These are the same haters who cannot bear you in the spotlight. They feel distracted by you. These are the same haters who you should not get distracted by. A great person once said that no matter where your haters stand, you must not get distracted by them. These haters are the people who give you opinions, and you must not get distracted by them. Opinions are, according to me, the worst things and the nastiest things on this planet. That's because they're just a nasty thing, like a piece of nasty chocolate. Everybody wants one, and nobody knows it's nasty. And everybody should have one, and everybody can't have one. But then, you shouldn't have one. Okay, you get it. And then, nobody knows it's nasty too. So, even if you eat it, you might just fall out of poison and die. Let me tell you a story. This is about a group of frogs who were traveling through a forest, and then one of them was deaf. So the deaf frog and the other frog, they fell into a pit. And they tried hard to jump, and the other comrades, they just, there's no use of jumping. You've got to just let go and die. So it was obvious they were haters, and they just couldn't stand both of them coming out. So they kept on trying, and both of them just kept on telling, disregarding the intention to come out. They just couldn't handle it. So one of the frogs took heed of what one of them said and told, okay, fine, I'm giving up. But the other frog, it was the deaf frog, and it kept on trying. And all this time it was thinking that the two frogs were giving it literal attention. It was giving it motivation to work harder and jump, and finally got out. And then when it finally got out, the two frogs somehow communicated with the frog and asked, didn't you hear us? But the other frog said it was because he thought they were motivating him the entire time. We should be exactly like the deaf frog. No matter what the haters tell, we must not take them seriously. Just as example, I'm this kind of person who has at least like 2 billion haters every day. So I don't actually care what they say because I act like they're invisible. So we have to just ignore what they say. Haters, they can be found everywhere. No matter where you go, where you stay, or whatever you do, there'll be just this one person who hates you 20%. Every time you see them, you just want to give them a high five on the face with a knife, but you don't want to end up in jail. So here are some ways which you can actually tackle them out of the way and work your way towards success. 1. You have to see through. This doesn't mean that you have to see their blood and act like they're invisible. But you have to see through their nonsense. The nonsense which they speak. You just act like they don't exist. And you have to be yourself. Like for example, everybody here is familiar with Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Before it was considered as one of the major and the best art pieces of the world, it was hated against and people boycotted it. People threw acid and rocks at it. Even though after all that, it's supported by people and protected by a bulletproof glass. Now, it's okay. And even if you have haters, you deserve a pat on your back because you have done something that they could not do. You have done something which they were way too lazy to work. 2. You have to prove them wrong. Now this, according to me, is the most important part of defending haters. You have to be yourself, and you have to let them say whatever you want, act like they're invisible, and prove them wrong. You have to take their hatred as your motivation to work hard. 3. Surround yourself with positive things. You need some cushions to absorb the shock of criticism. Criticism is something, as I told before, you should use as motivation. And after everything what the haters have told, doing something and spending time with people you know and people you feel comfortable with is something you can do to absorb the shocks of criticism. The haters want you to become miserable. It's your choice. You can either be miserable or either you can be happy. People don't go after what they want because of the fear of the word no, because of the fear of rejection, and because of the fear of people telling they are not perfect. Well, we have to understand that nobody in the world is perfect. And then you have to only listen to one voice. The outside voices are just meaningless distractions. And deep down you know which voice it is. Thank you.